Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. This is Nicole and I'm here with my girl.
Simone, hey.
Hey Simone, good to see you again. Our co-founders of GEMS, and GEMS stands for Growing and Empowering Minds, Inc. And our mission is to empower, educate, and train people to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. We will give you the tools and techniques that you can use to learn how to fish. We won't give you the actual fish. We want you to learn how to fish. So we're going to give you the tools and techniques. That's why we're here. We're a faith-based nonprofit organization. And so I'm going to turn it over to my girl, Simone, and she's going to do what she does best. And that is starting us out with a scripture. So Simone.
All right, so one of Jem's favorite, or Jem's or favorite scriptures, Hosea 4 verse 6, and it says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." God's people are destroyed because they lack knowledge. So one of the reasons why we're in debt, one of the reasons why we're living in cycles, because we lack the knowledge on how to get out. So what we're teaching you again is to fish. We're teaching you how to get out and stay out of debt. Yes. All right, Nikki.
All right, so today our topic is on living in cycles and what we can do to get out of these cycles. So we're going to start with a scenario and then walk through it, and hopefully you'll find something from it again. Fish, do your fishing, and find something from our talk today that you can use on your journey to becoming debt free. So somebody want to talk through the scenario and then let's have our discussion.
All right, here's today's scenario. I find myself living paycheck to paycheck and going deeper and deeper into debt, and I can't find my way out. It is so overwhelming, and I feel like I've been underwater for so long and that I can't even breathe. What do I need to do to get out of this cycle? Again, I'm going over and over and over the same pattern. What do I need to do to get out of the cycle?
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel like that right now because of what's going on with the current atmosphere. So here's tip number one. In order to break the cycle, you have to change your behavior. One of our mission is to educate and train people to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, right? And we have to figure out ways to change that behavior. Change your mindset. You have to be disciplined. You have to be intentional. You have to be focused. You got to envision the finish line. Do you know, we talked about this earlier, Simone? Remember I talked about $0 owed?
And the balance, yes.
Yes. So it's like, that's your vision. That's your end, your finish line. So you got to get your mindset together. So I want to just talk a little bit about fixed mindset. So your fixed mindset would say, I don't have enough money. Your growth mindset is saying that I can earn all the money I want, or I can market my skill set to earn more money. So instead of saying, I don't have enough money, just say that I'll figure some way out legally to earn more money, right?
That's right, legally.
Right, only you can change your behavior. This quote came from Simone. I want to give her credit for this, but when I read this, I'm like, yes, not Dr. Phil, not Ayana, Jim, and believe it or not, not even Jesus can change your behavior. You out there have to change your behavior. Start with you. You have to make that mindset and say, I am ready for a change. I am ready to see the $0 balance. I am ready to see my emergency fund built to a certain level. So not even Dr. Phil, not Ayana, not Oprah, you don't have to change your mindset.
And not even Jesus. He will help you. He'll help you to get out, but you have to. And the Bible says in Deuteronomy that God has given us life and death. And he said, choose life so that we can live.
Amen.
So he's not going to make the decision for us. You got to make the decision to get out.
And you got to put the work in. You have to put the work in, he will help you, but yeah, you got to put the work in. So Simone, what do you think we need to do to break the cycle?
All right, before I even get into that, I always talk about the children of Israel. It was supposed to be a 40-day journey. I'm sorry, 13-day journey. Sorry, Bible scholars, for messing this up, but it's supposed to be a 13-day journey. And they spent 40 years in the desert. And what they were doing, going around and round, round and round, round and round, and they still couldn't find a way to the promised land. Of course, we know that it was because of their unbelief and their disobedience why they didn't enter the promised land. And because of that, God let them march around in the desert. So you have to break the cycle to apply it to our daily lives. You have to break the cycle in your situation. You can't be going around and round in the same circle over and over and expecting different results. It was Alfred Einstein. He says, you're doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. That's the definition of insanity. Yes. Insanity. So we don't want to be doing the same thing over and over, around and around. So with my life, personally, professionally, and even spiritually, I make sure that I'm not stagnant. I make sure that I am not marching around in circles. And if I'm being disobedient to God, guess what? I'm going to keep marching around in circle, marching around in circle. And sometime I read the scripture earlier. Oh, I'm kind of digressing to scriptures, but it applies. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And sometimes, to tell you the truth, we have the knowledge, but we are disobedient. We just like the lifestyle. We don't want to make the sacrifice. We don't want to learn how to fish. We prefer to get it handed to us. We put a quote out on our Facebook page recently, and it says, you'll appreciate the value of something if you work hard for it, than if it is handed to you. Because if you work hard for it, you put blood, sweat, and tears, you go out in the cold and you face all kind of situation. You'll appreciate it more than if somebody just hand you $100. You're like, okay, you use it and you buy whatever. But if you work hard for the $100, trust me, you're not going to spend it frivolously and do whatever you want to do. So back on target, what I was supposed to be saying, what do you need to do to break the cycle? First, you got to set a budget. Set a written budget. List your income and expenses. Every show that we have, yes, we say show. Every show that we have, Nicole and I will tell you, set a budget, set a budget, set a written budget. So set a written budget. List your income and expenses. Again, it sounds repetitive, but you have to know what's coming in and what is going out. The second thing, what you need to do to break the cycle, do a self-assessment and see what you spent your money on. Or how about your last paycheck? What did you spend it on? Where did it go? Nicole knows about this, that for the last 5-6 years, every single penny
you know where it went, right? You know where the penny went.
I know exactly where it is. So if I should do a spreadsheet roll up right now to tell you how much I spent on entertainment or food or even light gas, the Four Corners. Four Corners, if you're just tuning in and you don't know what the Four Corners is, it is food, transportation, housing, and what? Utilities. Not in that order, but those are the four walls, if you hear me mention that. So yes, so if you ask me to roll up and say how much you spend on food or the four walls, I can tell you that right now. I can just pull up my spreadsheet, bloop, and I tell you, but I won't. You got to do that for yourself to know where your money is going. I know where my money is going. Do you know where your money is going, Nikki?
Yes, I do, because I have the same spreadsheet.
There you go. And I know you, Nikki, you are going to make it all technical. You're an engineer, so you make it all fancy and dancy and graphs and the whole work. I just keep it simple, in and out. Date, amount spent, who I spent it on, which company, and the category. That's it. And sometimes I break down what it was actually spent on. So yeah.
Actually, before you go on, I actually have a bar graph that shows year over year how I spend over a year. And the goal is to make sure I reduce the spending of certain items. So for instance, eating out, I see over years how much I've been spending monthly, and I try to make sure I reduce that going forward. So
You
it's
see, so
like a challenge for me.
so I mean that's nice because you can see, you can track what you're
Yeah.
spending, and you actually know where your money is going. So how to get out of the cycle, how to break the cycle. We're telling you, set a written budget, do a self-assessment of where your money is going. And number three, cut out all the items that are pertaining. I'm sorry.
Not, that are not pertaining.
Cut out the items that are not, keyword, not. I had to read this again. I'm like, what? You mean I can't eat? Um, cut out the items that are not pertaining to the four walls, which you mentioned earlier: food, utilities, housing, and transportation. So for example, one, stop eating out. Cook at home instead. What you say, Nikki?
That was hard for me, but I've reduced that significantly.
Discipline,
Mhm.
breaking the cycle, right?
Mhm.
Stop eating out. Cook at home instead. Bring your lunch and your snacks to work. I was so proud of my dad. I visited his workplace recently, and he said, I got my cooler and I have my lunch. I packed my lunch in it. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, nothing's wrong with that. And I'm not afraid to, I'm not afraid to bring my mackerel and white rice to work.
For those who don't know, that's a Jamaican dish. That's really good.
Shake out, tin mackerel, dirty gal. Google it. Serious. All right, but seriously, bring your snacks to work. Don't use the vending machine. It's cheaper if you buy it yourself and bring it to work. Stop going out. If your homies call you, your friends call you, hey, we can get out. No, the governor let us out. The prime minister let us out. We can get out. Let's go. We deserve it. Let's go to the mall. No. There's one word that we all should learn so we can get out the cycle. No.
No.
And no. No. Can I? No. Can you? No. Can I borrow? No. No.
And this is just to get you to be focused and disciplined so you can be debt free.
That's right. And to get out of the cycle.
Yes.
So if you're living paycheck to paycheck, eating out is not going to help you. Going out all the time to what they call it? Fleek? What do young people call it?
I don't know.
On fleek. Anyway, let me not even start. Stop buying new clothes and new shoes. And I'm going to talk about this one. This is a hot topic.
Take your time. Take your time.
So, I see last week in Georgia, they opened back Georgia, and people are out there at the mall. And it was so disappointing that, I'm going to say to our African-American brothers and sisters, they were in the mall buying Jordans. And there was a line, the stores in the mall, from in the mall, outside. Go outside, wrapped around the building, according to the article. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Right now, we're trying to survive. We're trying to pay the bills. We're trying to put food on the table. And you're out there buying Jordans. And you're the same one that's putting your payments on deferral. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's complaining that you don't have any money, but you're out there buying Jordans. Who you're gonna show it off to? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm
about priorities. Your priorities have to be right. Exactly. If you want to change this life cycle or break the cycle, sorry, you have to have different priorities. And right now, in this day and age, and what's going on, buying the high-end clothes and high-end things is not supposed to be your top priority. It should make sure that your food, utilities, housing, transportation is good, and then your emergency fund. And we're not saying that not to enjoy life, but Who's looking at some Jordans right now? We're all in
Not
the
me.
house.
Not me.
We're all in the house. So
Not me.
thank you for that, Simone. So let me go through some other ways in terms of trying to break the cycle. Stay in your lane. And that's what Simone just talked about with the Jordans. Stay in your lane. Don't look at the Joneses because they're broke too. Put the blinders on and look ahead. You know, be focused. Don't look at what your neighbors and your friends are doing, you know, because at the end of the day, you don't know what their financial situation is. You need to worry about your financial situation and you trying to break the cycle of living from paycheck to paycheck or going around in circles. So don't look at the Joneses because again, they could be broke. You see people with all these different things and you're wondering, wow, I would love to have that. And then you go and try and do it and put yourself in debt for what? So the Joneses can't see you? No, the Joneses gone about their business. You got to focus on you and make sure that you break this cycle. The second thing, which is one of my favorite things to do, is to read, listen to podcasts that talks about being debt free. You know, it says, so as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So what you hear repeatedly over and over, you'll begin to manifest it in your daily life. So if you hear repeatedly over and over about getting out of debt, you will start to do that too. So listen to these podcasts, listen to different people out there. We talk about Dave Ramsey a lot. He's one source. There's Rachel Cruz. There's a bunch of you, Anthony O'Neill, Chris Hogan. There's a slew of people that talk about getting out of debt. So start to listen to podcasts. One thing I miss and I don't miss is my drive to work. And the reason why I don't miss it is because, yeah, it's driving and, you know, no, I don't have to drive to work. But the part that I miss is that I used to play my podcast on my way to work. I used to listen to all the podcasts on the way to work. And I missed that portion of driving that we could listen to things and feed my mind. The third thing is like-minded people to be around. I'm glad that I have friends that are on the same journey, right? We all want the same thing. So yes. I can call Simone and say, man, I need to go to this. I want to go to this restaurant. And she might say, okay, do you have a coupon? Do you really need to go? You know, she would start to talk through things with me to kind of give me to level set, what is it that I really need? And also when we are going to the same goal, going towards the same goal, it helps to motivate you in your own journey. When you see someone else even accomplishing and their victories. I remember, Simone, when you called and told me that you paid off Sally Mae.
I paid Sally Mae back.
Yes. I remember when she called me and told me, I'm done. And I was so excited that, you know, she was done with that and she paid it off. And I said, that gave me the motivation too, to just keep on doing what I was doing too.
That's right.
And that's how it happened when you're around like-minded people. And the last thing I want to talk about is don't take advice from broke people. You can't. Broke people don't know what to do, so how are they going to tell you what to do with your money? And you're focusing on trying to get into a debt-free zone. You're focusing on trying not to live paycheck to paycheck. You're focusing on trying to break the cycle. Don't listen to them. Listen to podcasts. There's a lady that I follow on Instagram and YouTube. Her name is Terry Seville Foy. And she always talks about this, about listening to others. And she talks about that if you don't have the financial means to go to like a conference or to learn about certain things and be around like the actors or the businessmen, like you would love to sit and talk to Warren Buffett one-on-one, but you can't do that. What you should do instead, and I talked about it earlier, read their books. It's just like sitting in front of them and talking to them. Listen to their podcast. It's the same thing. So make sure you're not taking advice from broke people, but taking advice from people who have been through it, been there, done that, and have the keychain to show. All right?
That's right. That's right. So our goal is to stop living in cycles, stop going around and round and round. And some people, they have excuses. And we're telling you today, stop making excuses. Well, you know, I don't. And no, just stop. Stop it. Stop. Stop. Stop making all the excuses in the world. Like, just stop, girlfriend. Stop. Stop with the drama. One person that I listened to, he said, save the drama for your mama. We're not telling him that. I'm just quoting him. But just stop with all the excuses. And don't say that, stop with all the nonsense and excuses. And don't say that you can't be debt free. You can't be successful. You can't find a way out. You can find a way out. You just have to make that choice. You just got to think. You just got to think, make that choice. And all right, I'm going to get deep right here, but I'm going to tell it like it is.
Tell it.
Not because your family didn't go to college, it doesn't mean that you don't have to go. You can go if you want to go. If college is not for you, find a skilled trades. But by whatever means, do something. Don't say, well, my mama didn't, my grandmother didn't. No, 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 no. No, no excuses. You have no reason to have excuses. Here we go. Not because your mama, your grandmother, your great-great-great-grandmother, and auntie them live on food stamps. It doesn't mean that you have to live on food stamps. And don't get me wrong. There are some times when we have faced tough situations in our lives. Like right now, I'm on unemployment because I'm furloughed. It wasn't by choice. Get it. But some people, they make this a lifestyle. They just continue to live in the cycle. Well, I grew up and I see my mom doing it and my grandmother doing it, so I think it is okay. No, you're just living in cycle. You're continuing. And if you have children, guess what? The same cycle will continue. So you have to break the cycle and say, you know what? This ends with me. I don't have to live on food stamp for the rest of my life. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't know how people live on unemployment and food stamps for the rest of their life. If you want to accomplish something in life, you got to go out there and work hard. And same thing we were talking about earlier, Nikki, about teaching people how to fish. Teach people how to fish so that later you can know how to get your own food and maybe teach somebody else how to fish. So don't make any excuses. Don't talk about your generational and ancestral, your ancestors, they went through this. You don't have to go through that. You can break the cycle. You can say, no, it ends with me. I know for me, I said, no, the cycle breaks with me. It's done with me. I cut it off because I'm not going to let the generation coming after me to continue with this. But then again, sometimes it is lack of knowledge why people continue in the cycle. So break the cycle.
And that's why we're here to help you, give you the tools and techniques so you can break this cycle. And you have the knowledge to break the cycle. As Simone said, lack of knowledge caused us to just go around in this cycle. And we want to break this cycle. We want to leave a legacy for our children, leave a legacy for our family. We want to see us be debt free. We want to the part that I really like what Simone talked about is, go to college. You can. No excuses. Not because your mom, your auntie, your daddy didn't go to college. You can go to college too. You can go to college. You just made a difference. But what it starts with is your mindset.
That's right.
You gotta be focused. You gotta be focused. You gotta be determined that this is what you want and this is where you want to go to.
As you were talking, Nicole, something just came to mind. A lot of people will say, "Well, I've excused. Well, I don't have the money. My family doesn't have the money. My parents don't have the money." Guess what? We didn't have the money too. Our parents didn't have it too. And we had to learn how to fish. We had to learn how to get ourselves into a better position. Our parents pushed us, motivated us. They did what they could. And then we helped to get ourselves to another level. And that's what all our parents desires. All parents desires for their children to do better than them. And that is how you change the family tree.
Yes, exactly. Come to the end, almost to the end, and just to conclude of what we talked about today is that it's time for you, me, all of us to break the cycle. Cut off the non-progressive cycle of going around and around in the desert, like the children of Israel. We don't want to be walking around for 40 years when we could have gotten this done in 13 days. So this just let's break this cycle. Be that one who would stop the madness and break the cycle, right?
That's right.
So that's why we're here today, to give you these techniques, these tools. I just want to run over them real quickly, and then Simone, if you can end with that quote, but just run over these quickly, the cycle, the ways that you can break the cycle. 1, set a budget, list your income and expenses. 2, do a self-assessment and see where you're spending your money and what you did in your last paycheck. 3, cut off items that are not pertaining to the 4 walls. And the 4 walls is food, utilities, housing, and transportation. 4, stay in your lane. Do not look at the Joneses. Put your blinders on, be focused, and get things done. Focus on getting this broken. 5, read, listen to podcasts and skills about being debt. 6, like-minded people that can help you to get to the next level. 7, don't take advice from broke people. And 8, stop making excuses. Start today.
All right. So again, going back to the definition for Albert Einstein, if you do the same thing over and over and expect different results, then that's the definition of insanity. And we don't want any more mad people walking around. No more mad people. We have enough already. So yeah, break the cycle, break the cycle, break the cycle.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. I hope you think that will allow you to fish, and join us back next week. Actually, we're trying to load a video every Saturday. So join us every Saturday for another video. So like, subscribe, go follow us on all social media handle. We are prized_gems_inc at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then of course our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you.